Oh, wow. You hear that? That's what you want to hear. Look at that consistency. I just want to show you. It is thick. Anyways. Oh, this is the best batch I've ever made. Oh my God. All right, so we got our hands on this nice crate of apples. These are champion in Polish. It's spelled SH. I don't know if it would be champion in English or not. I'm not sure. And these are golden delicious. So I'm gonna get these upstairs and we're gonna give them a nice water and vinegar bath and we'll get to work. All right, so yes, I did have to try them out. They are quite delicious, both kinds. We got ourselves a little plate here. I usually always eat my apples with cinnamon. I don't know why. Cinnamon is really good. It's anti-parasitic. Get yourself some good quality cinnamon. So, I guess we'll do that here. Boom, boom. This is how I like to do it. Chop them into fours. First step. Get a full cutting board. Get yourself a big cutting board. Really makes things easier. This isn't even like the biggest one you can have. Put some kind of towel underneath the cutting board so it doesn't slide around, and you get a much softer. It basically absorbs any of the imperfections that the cutting board might have. Cutting boards are usually not perfectly flat. And basically, we're gonna chop these up into quarters. This is skin on applesauce, so I am not gonna be peeling them. The skin is full of delicious stuff, and you really don't want to be getting rid of that. So the process is a little more tiresome because you do have to blend it to get a really smooth consistency, which I'm going to show you guys how I do. But the consistency you get when you leave the skin on is beautiful. It almost comes out looking like caramel. It really is. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. In terms of one of these is going to fill the cutting board perfectly. Oh yeah. Look at that. That quantity to cutting board ratio was meant to be. So for efficiency reasons, I am gonna now right away, transfer these here. I cleaned my sink, so there's really no need to re-rinse those. And then right away, I'm gonna get this next batch going. Give them a little soak. I like to have a few things going at once. So this is dripping, this we're going to be cutting, this is going to be soaking. And I think that's the most we can do right now. So let's fill that up. Bum, 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 bum. Filling, filling, filling. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna rinse it right away. I don't want it to soak up too much of that tap water. If anything, I would rather have it soaking in the vinegar and filtered water. A little vinegar. Actually, that was quite a bit of vinegar. Here I have some more filtered water. Rather keep your filtered water running, unless you're not in a rush. I'm in a bit of a rush. I have a lot of stuff I want to get done today. Not in a rush, but I'm just trying to be efficient. So behind the camera here, I'm just pouring off some more filtered water into a jug. And yeah, so this is what it And now let's get to cutting. Oh, that's not blocking. So what I'm gonna do is I have my little garbage can. Boom. Cut into right into the pot. Cut out the top, middle. See, I'm just cutting out a little bit of the middle. Boom, right into the pot. Cut out the middle. Right into the pot. Cut out the middle. Right into the pot. Let me give you guys another angle of that. God damn, those are good apples. Into the pot. So, boom, into the pot. Boom, into the pot. So this is gonna take a little bit of time. Maybe we'll do like a fast forward type of thing. But this is basically the process. Boom. Because I'm going to be slow cooking this, I'm going to be doing it at about 100 degrees. There really is no problem if you leave out. Oh shit. Rinse that off. It's good to go. So I don't do this on the stovetop. I do it in the oven because you get a much more even heat distribution type of thing going on, where the bottom doesn't get burnt. If you do it on the stovetop, the bottom tends to get burnt, and you got to kind of stand there mixing it. And because I have quite a few things I want to get done today, I'm going to do this first batch. I'm going to stick it in the oven, probably for about 6 hours. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll go do a bunch of stuff in the meantime. And the temperature I've done this twice, 2 or 3 times before. I don't quite remember the temperature, but I think I'm gonna set it at about 90 degrees or so. Just to get it started and make sure nothing burns, but I don't think it will. Occasionally coming by to give it a swirl. And then at the end, we're gonna blend it. And you'll see a nice beautiful result, and we'll put it in some jars. So anyways, I'm gonna do this now, and probably I'll speed this up. All right, so as you can see, this is getting quite full. It's probably at about right here. I am still gonna finish this last little bit of apples just because I already have them washed. And what I'll do is I'll fill this right to the top. And this is gonna reduce quite a bit. If I remember correctly, probably by about half or a third. So as it reduces, I'll just add the rest of my chopped up apples and get as much out of each pot as I can. In the meantime, while that's in the oven, I'm also gonna go buy a metal spout. No, that's not the right word. One of those triangular things with a hole at the top. This has a bigger hole at the top, bigger hole at the top than the bottom, so that I can pour them into the jar. I have a plastic one, but I want to avoid plastic as it's going to be really hot while I pour it through. Don't want to get any of those microplastics in there. And that's something I've built on from doing this before. I used to just pour it right from the pot into the jars, which is kind of a pain in the ass because you get spillage, then you got to wipe the jars. Anyways, finish chopping this up, and we'll get it in the oven. So I have, because this is getting fairly close to being full, we've got just about 3 apples here left, and I'm just gonna finish up chopping these. I have preset the oven at this point to 100 degrees Celsius, top and bottom. If you have a fan, you can turn the fan on. What I'm gonna do is take all these out because this is a big pot. I don't want to place the pot right on the bottom. So I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna place it on the lowest just to prevent any chance of anything burning in the bottom, on the bottom. So we're gonna place our pot on here. If I remember correctly, it should fit. Let's see how that looks. 1 second. Boom. All right, so this is what it's gonna look like. Technically, we could add a little more, which I think we are gonna do. Actually, no, you know what? We'll just leave it at that for now. So I'm gonna leave this at 100 degrees till it basically gets everything up to temperature. Once I see it softening up, what I'm gonna do once it's softened up, basically the reason I was able to get away with making the apples so big is because we're gonna use one of these after. You wanna make sure you have a metal top one so it's not plastic and you're not sticking plastic into, you know, hot ass apples. And we're gonna be blending it because the skins are really hard to break down and they take a really long time. And because we're doing it in the oven, it's going to take a long time for them to soften up, but we're going to blend this up into a very kind of creamy, kind of caramelized consistency. So that's why you can get away with making this applesauce by just chopping these apples up basically into quarters, which saves you quite a bit of time. Like that did not take us that long. Just turn on a podcast and maybe it took like an hour for me to fill up that whole pot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to finish chopping up a few of these apples, throw them in a bowl, stick them in the oven, and probably be back in a couple hours just to see how this is going. Anyways. All right, greetings. So we have been baking those apples all night. Had to do a small change of plans and move them to the bottom oven, which ended up having good turnout because the fan worked much better. Let me show you guys what we are looking like. So this was at about 80 degrees all night, still steaming, as you can see. They have a nice brown color. I did end up covering them with a plate because I figured the steam would kind of break them up. Anyways, I'm gonna try to give them a little bit of a mix now. And let's see what this is gonna be looking like. In the meantime, it's nice and early. It's about 6 a.m. In the meantime, I have some water boiling over here because I'm hoping this is gonna blend up nicely, and I'm gonna pour this boiling water into these 8 jars. I don't think this is gonna make 8 jars, but also for this batch, I am planning to chop up 1 lemon and add as a preservative, even though I don't think it's quite necessary. Last time I made these lasted about half a year. And I'm also gonna add some cinnamon to this batch. So anyways, let's see if this blends up. It was fine, I guess. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's what you want. So slow and steady in the oven all night. Look at that beautiful brown color. Oh yeah, that's what we want. So as I can tell that this is already pretty much ready, I am at this point gonna add the juice of our 2 lemons. Boom. That's 1. Fuck, that's a lot of juice. I wonder if 1 is enough. You know what? I think we're gonna stick with 1 lemon. I mean, that was pretty juicy. And now I'm gonna add, I always go into the cap because you never know how this is gonna go. So I wasn't even sure if this was going to dissolve fully and if I was going to be jarring this, but let's go with that much cinnamon. So we went half a lemon, cinnamon, and we got that beautiful brown color. And now we're gonna blend some more till we have like a really nice, smooth, kind of caramel consistency. Now, if you don't have one of these little tools, so it's just got like the knives at the bottom that are spinning, technically you could let this cool and you could do it in a regular blender. Unless you have like a really fancy blender that can handle high temperature, I would not recommend putting the hot apples in there. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that. I don't know, are you seeing that? That's what you want. It's nice and thick, and all the apples just completely dissolved. I mean, look at that. That is nice. Even if some get left behind, I mean, you technically could have potted this up, put it into jars right the way it was. But maybe I'll do one batch where I just kind of spoon them into the jars. But I think this way, it might make air pockets that way, which can lead to it spoiling. And because we're not using any preservatives, we really want to avoid air in our jars. Wow, look at that. I've never gotten such a nice consistency. I think switching to that bottom oven really helped. The fan on my upstairs on this oven here is kind of oiled up and it's not working as well. Oh yeah. So I am really happy with that. I mean, look at that. That's exactly what you want, in my opinion. At this point, I mean, look, everything came right off of that. At this point, we are going to do a taste test. And because we are going to throw these jars back in the oven for about 45 minutes, I'm not going to worry about reheating this. So let's do a little taste test. Oh, that's the shit right there. Oh, the cinnamon is so nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's amazing, if I do say so myself. Anyways, so what we're gonna do now, this is still steaming hot. We're gonna finish, this water is just about boiled. I'm gonna throw the water into these jars, seal them up for a bit. In the meantime, I might actually throw this in the oven just to keep it hot. And we'll see you guys very shortly when we jar this shit. Oh man, it's so good. All right, so I figured I might as well show this step. I actually skipped this step last time. And I didn't have any issues, but I figured why not. So I'm just pouring boiling hot water. I'm not even filling them completely into these jars. It'll serve kind of as two purposes because I'm going to cap them right away. It's going to clean, hopefully kill any bacteria. And it's also going to clean the caps a bit, but it's also going to heat these guys up. And also I get to, oh, see, fuck, this is a shitty jar. It's got four, it's a different kind of cap. Anyways, I don't think I'll need all these jars. So this guy's getting set aside. And also I get to check the seals. What the hell? Ah, this is another 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I guess we got to get another jar. See, there's different kind of caps for different jars. All right, that'll have to do. So I picked 2 bad jars. I thought I checked them all. Oh, so you get to check the seal to see if the caps are still good. Good seal. Good seal. And that's hot. Keep that going. Good seal. Good seal. Actually, I kind of don't like that seal. That's a good seal. You want to kind of have this step done with by the time is that a good seal? Yeah, it seems like a good seal. And then that's a good seal. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7 jars. We'll leave that going for a bit. And just a few minutes, I guess. Give them a little spin. And I don't like that seal. Is it gonna be good? Should be good. See, these are all nice and hard. Anyways, kind of don't like that seal. I'm gonna try a different cap. There, that's nice. I like to feel that the cap is nice and hard, meaning that the air pressure is building up, the steam, and it should suction in after it sits for a while. Anyways, gonna get our food ready for the day while this kind of cleans. We got the applesauce in the oven for now, just keeping it hot at 100 degrees, and we're gonna jar it, and that'll be it. Peace. All right, so all I'm doing right now is I'm pouring out the water out of the jars, and I'm just flipping them upside down into the oven to dry out the water that was left and to keep them hot. Want to keep them at about 100 degrees, which is what our apples are at, so that basically the jars don't crack. If there's too big of a temperature change, the jar will crack. And we'll put this bit back in for not long, probably like 5 or 10 minutes. And then we'll get these jars canned up. I did buy canned up one of these things. You put it on top of a jar. Bam. Might make things a little bit easier. Last year I did it without it. Got a little messy. All right, it is time. Get these babies going. So we also threw the caps in. So all I'm really gonna do is pull out one cap, one jar. It should be nice and dry at this point. And let's get this party started. Boom. Boom. We got our apples ready to go. Oh yeah. That's what we kind of want. That's what we want. They came out a lot darker than my last batch. Whoops. God dang it. I wasn't paying attention. It's gonna be hot. So we gotta do a little bit of a rescue here. And pour some of that back. You wanna have something to put this aside on. Alrighty. That's hot, but it's also delicious. Also, a little paper towel, clean around the lid. Boom. Jarred up. So I'm just gonna put these aside for now, but I am gonna be popping them back in the oven. Boom. One down. Number two. Jar. Cap. Now this time we got to pay attention. They did have a slightly bigger nozzle for this like spout thing, but it costed 3 times as much. It would have literally cost the same amount that I paid for the apples. So I said, fuck it, frig it. See, this cap was perfect, so we don't even really need to clean it. You want to, the stuff that gets caught in the cap is the first stuff that kind of grows any mold, from what I noticed. And last time, because we are going to be kind of slightly pasteurizing them. But the reason I say slightly is because I'm probably not going to do it too high of a temperature. Maybe I'll do like 100 degrees max for 45 minutes. Just because I'm trying to keep this as raw as possible. If I ever see anything that it's starting to create mold, then right away I'll just get to eating them faster. But last time I did it with no lemon juice. And they lasted pretty much all winter. I did it in October-ish. And it probably lasted till not that long ago. So about half a year. Boom, 3 jars. Hopefully I got enough jars. No, it's going quick. These are big jars. Ah, that's hot. Jar number 3. Let's see how many we get out of this one batch. So this was probably like, honestly, like a third of the apples. I probably could have kept adding more, but I had a lot of shit to do in the meantime. So this was the best I can do right now. It wasn't that much work. Boom. Ah, shit, we should probably add. We don't want to leave too big of an air hole. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more here. The less of an air hole, you want to leave just enough. From my experience, the sweet spot is something right about a centimeter under the lid. Ah, bam, number 4. I have a feeling there's going to be about 6 jars. Ah, that's hot. Oops. A little bit of jars going flying, but that's okay. Because we got to keep this train going. We got the oven all heated up. And I got to get this done before work. Got a full day's work ahead of us. Might even do a quick little garden update, we'll see. A little more. Might take a little to work, let the girls try. See, that's a little too much for my taste. See, that for me, that would be like too much. I want to leave a little more. Because when we pop it in the oven, it shouldn't come to like a boil. But just in case we do get some bubbles, apples, when you put them in the oven in the jars, they do tend to get a little bubbly. And actually, I'm going to clean this as well. And if you get leaks, it doesn't necessarily ruin the seal, but the outside of the jar gets really dirty and it molds. The stuff on the outside of the jar molds. And yeah, you got to clean it off every time before you want to eat. Open the jar. Anyways, this might be our last one. Hopefully we get a full jar. Oh, baby. Oh yeah, we're getting a full jar out of this. We just gotta scrape the sides a little bit. Butter knife. I cannot express just how good the flavor is. I think it's mostly from the type of apples I used. Wow. It's so good. Like, I can't get over how good it is. All right. So we just about used up all the material. We have gotten, not bad, 6 jars, exactly like I thought. As you can tell, not much left in there. Yes, I am obviously going to scrape all that out, and I might bring it to my friend at work. So anyways, 6 jars. We're going to pop this in the oven now. For 100 degrees. Oops. I don't like the way that bends around the middle. 2. But we got no choice. I don't like that, but what can you do? All right. Bye bye, baby. That's that. We got our dinner in the bottom. We'll get our dinner out soon, but yeah, 100 degrees at about 45 minutes is what we're gonna do. Peace out. And that is a wrap. Anyways, peace out. All right, so just felt I should add, look at this. That is how clean the bottom of that pot is afterwards. And the reason I show you is usually when you make applesauce, you do it on the stove top, you gotta stir, and you're always stirring like if you're doing a tomato sauce, because you're always worried the bottom's gonna get burnt. And I'm just honestly in shock how good that turned out. It's so it's got such a like a caramel kind of taste to it. The cinnamon is perfect. It's got like a little bit of acidity, but you really can't taste the lemon. I think the dark color is because I left it on in the oven all night and it really browned nicely. Honestly, it's my best batch ever. I'm just super happy. The cleaning is gonna be so easy, and I'm probably gonna have to just do about 2 more batches throughout the week like this. So what I'll probably do is I'll just chop the apples up in the morning, throw them in the oven, go to work. And I'm expecting from less than 20 kilos of apples, I should make somewhere around 20 jars. Maybe not totally, but we'll see. Because I think I used about 1/3 of the apples. Anyways, those were Golden Delicious and Champion, maybe they're called in English. In Polish, it's spelled SZ at the start. Epic. Truly epic. Amazing.